I'm going to be doing a little tea review on my tea haul from Adagio.com. I'm going to start off with the first blend that I hopefully believe is going to be my favorite. This one is the Shire. It's obviously a Lord of the Rings inspired tea, coming in just in time for the celebration of the premiere of The Hobbit. And it, as you can see, includes Snowbud, which is a white tea, wild strawberry, berry blast, and apple pieces. And this is brand new. I'm actually going to open this up right now.
So I actually just want to say really quick that I'm not the biggest fan of white teas. So I don't necessarily have a very good bias coming into this. If it does turn out to be good, it will be a very sincere gesture from me because that's not usually my cup of tea.
That's delicious. I think I can already smell the apple. I'm smelling it. Oh my god, this smells absolutely delicious. This is the sweetest thing I have ever smelt. Very natural, fruity. Wow, all the fruit aspects in it seem so nicely together. There's a very light, almost floral. You can definitely make out the smell of the strong for smelling. After a few moments, you know, the scents kind of blend back together, but that looks delicious. Already got water that is starting to boil. Now, since white tea is a rather delicate tea, I'm only going to bring the water up to about 180 degrees. You can already see bubbles are starting to form. I'm gonna let that work a little bit long. Again, letting the water not quite get to a full boil. I've got my mesh ball. I like the mesh balls best because they don't let the small teas get away, and this one has a bit more room for the larger Snowbud leaves. Now, since Snowbud is fairly large, I'm going to add a little bit more than the usual teaspoon you would add. Try and get some other fruit, which are obviously heavier. There we go. I'm going to try to now, I obviously don't have a kettle, which is probably, nope, I'm going to make a mess and burn myself. The scent definitely gets more subtle after brewing. I've let it steep for around 3-ish minutes. 3 to 5 is good for Snowbud. You want to do it at about 195 degrees, as I've just double checked with Adagio. It smells lovely. They've all blended together nicely. It's sort of harder to make out the individual fruits that are in there. However, it does have a very springtime aroma. It was exactly what I was hoping for when I was actually blending up the Shire blend. And it does definitely make me think that this is one of the smells you'd have as you were traversing through Hobbiton, or perhaps even to the gardens around Bag End that Samwise Gamgee would be taking care of. I'm going to open up, actually, the mesh ball so you can get a look at what they've expanded to, and plus so I can see if I've brewed it long enough. The tea does expand quite a bit. That's the Snowbud and the apple showing. For comparison, I usually, for my herbal related teas, don't do much of anything to them. On occasion I will sweeten them with Splenda. I'm going to try it in its purest form. Right now I'm just mixing in an ice cube because I do not appreciate scalding hot tea. Let's see. Still pretty hot, but that's more bearable. Ooh, it's very subtle. It's sweet. It's naturally sweet, which is good. Things like the apple have done their job. Tastes a little florally. You can make out the blend of berries, even though in this particular brew they weren't particularly represented. Oh, I don't even want to do anything to this. I'm gonna let that sit, and I'm gonna try it iced. So I'm mixing in more ice cubes now. The tastes do come out better when it's colder. I believe I brewed it for a little bit too long, or perhaps I put too much of the Snowbud, and it does taste good. Yes, I would recommend adding a little bit of sugar to it, or Splenda in my case. Other than that, it's a very lovely tea. It's very subtle. It's not bitter. But white tea is an acquired taste. I don't usually like green tea, which could be quite why this tastes a little bit off to me, but I do like it. It's lovely.